And hello world, it's Lee here coming to you live from Canopy in Boulder, and I'm here with Colin Ferrian from Deep Green. Hey Colin.
Hey Lee, pleasure to be here.
Thanks for talking with us. Absolutely amazing day. It was freezing cold this morning and now the sun's come out. It's like crazy. Colin, Deep Green, tell us all about Deep Green.
So Lee, Deep Green is a artificial intelligence software company that analyzes images of plants and then returns health analysis of them. So for cannabis, we can tell farmers if there's powdery mildew anywhere to spider mites on their plants before they'll ever notice.
Right. And so, obviously there's a broader application for that type of software from an agricultural perspective. Why did you start in the cannabis industry?
Absolutely. So fortunately, cannabis farmers are making quite a bit of money right now. When you talk about a plant that's worth $500 each versus a pound of lettuce being worth $5 to $10, there's an economic argument that the cannabis growers can use to adopt new technology. On top of that, you have cannabis farmers are significantly younger on average than the average age of a farmer in the U.S., which is mid-50s to 60 years old. So there's an opportunity there to get younger farmers to adopt new technology that might help them save some time and some money.
Right. Okay, so maybe just talk us through the software and what does it do? I think we've got an image here we'll put up for the viewers, and we can perhaps just talk through how it actually all works.
Absolutely. So the image that you're seeing right now is our cameras will take pictures from the ceiling of any grow, or from an LED light even. After it takes a picture, it goes up to our cloud, and we analyze it using a neural network, which effectively just looks for variations and patterns on the leaves. So what we identified in this picture was a calcium magnesium deficiency, which is a nutrient deficiency that we found before the weekend hit, which helped them save a bit of money before it could spread across all of those plants. But ultimately what we're doing is the artificial intelligence just looks for changes in the images that aren't normal, and then it tells us if they find anything.
Right. And obviously you've got some machine learning component to that starts to build smarts as it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. And so when it identifies something like we're showing in the picture, we tell the software that is correct. And so subsequently it learns going forward that every picture that looks like that is a problem, and it should continue to identify it. And not only on cannabis, but it'll identify that same problem now on soybeans, on barley, on tomatoes, on lettuce.
Wow. And so where are you at in terms of stage of the business? Obviously, you're in the accelerator here at Canopy. What stage? Early stage, obviously, but prototype, MVP?
Yeah, so we've got an MVP, and we're distributing it to customers right now, but we're also integrating for upcoming field trials in this growing season in the U.S. So we're going to be putting cameras on center pivot irrigations for potatoes up in Idaho, hopefully, as well as barley up in Colorado. Idaho potatoes, absolutely. Let's go farther than the beach, right?
So that's quintessential, isn't it? Potatoes.
So we're moving from MVP to workable product, and hopefully by the end of this growing season, we're going to have something that can be adopted simply by many customers at any given time.
Right. And so have you raised any capital to date, or has it just been seed money? How have you gone about sort of bootstrapping?
Yes, we raised some capital from Canopy going into the accelerator program, and then we were fortunate enough to be able to raise an oversubscribed bridge round a couple months ago.
Right.
That was a bit more than we needed to make sure that we can push the product along as quickly as possible, and we'll be going into an even bigger round in about 2 months, which would be a full Series Seed round of a few $1 million.
Right. And so, I touched on it before about the fact that it's got obviously agricultural wide-ranging application for detecting health in plants, and it's not just specific to the marijuana industry. But this accelerator Canopy is specific to the marijuana industry, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, how do you go about getting in here, and how does it work for somebody that wants to get into this accelerator in this industry?
So, my handful of points of advice for anybody looking to get in. One is be persistent. They may say no right away.
Yeah.
Keep calling, keep emailing until they tell you not to keep calling and emailing anymore. The other piece of that is if you have a vision, if you have an MVP, make it succinct and less than 10 slides and something that you could show people, because it's a lot more tangible if you can go meet them and show them a product that is either working or the vision that you have for the product in just a handful of a brief description.
Yeah.
Whereas you see a lot of people that come in with kind of lengthy explanations for what they want to do, just solve one problem, and from one problem you can solve it well.
Yeah.
And from there you can expand.
Yeah. And so getting into Canopy is part of they bring one cohort in sort of every 6 months, or is it just, how does that work?
Exactly. One cohort every 6 months, and at the end of the 6 month, at the end of the 6 month program, they have everyone goes and pitches at a big event with a bunch of investors, and subsequently you have people that will bring in money immediately after that, which is a great opportunity for both Canopy as well as the companies that are going through the program.
Yeah. So how many people on your team now?
So we've got 4 people on our team,
Yeah.
all international actually.
Right.
So that's fantastic, and all engineers.
Right. And just out of curiosity, where are all the cannabis growers in the US? So I mean, obviously it's not specific to the US, but it's the only place that it's legal. So there's other cannabis growers, right? But how do you deal with that? Like,
I mean, there's cannabis growers that are kind of sparsely dispersed across the legalized states.
right.
They tend to be relatively concentrated, especially in the states where it just starts to be legalized, because you have a lot of people that are hungry for an opportunity, and it hasn't quite gotten shaken out. Now in Colorado you have much more consolidation, so we're talking 50,000 square foot grows, as
Right.
opposed to in California they probably have a bunch of 5,000 square foot grows.
Right,
So that's kind of how the industry develops.
Well, I think it tends to be market trend. You know, the early movers come in, then you get all of the sort of the rush of everyone coming into the space, and then you get the shakeout, and then the stayers are in there for the long haul, right? The long game.
Exactly, yeah. To a T.
And so Deep Green's in for the long game by the sounds of it.
Absolutely, the longest game.
But in order for the cannabis part of your proposition to grow globally, you need to see legalization globally. Was that a fair comment, or?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's the most important piece is getting legalization, and whether it's through medicinal first and then going into recreational, so you can prove to people that were previously more conservative that it's not as harmful as maybe general stereotypes would have presented it.
Yeah.
It's the path. Ultimately.
So it's not as harmful as tobacco or alcohol?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I can't emphasize enough. We don't have enough time.
No, I'm with you. I'm making a point. I'm being facetious, right?
Absolutely.
I struggle with the fact that we justify that legalization of tobacco and alcohol.
It's an unfortunate benchmark, but I think given the alternatives, it should be an easy option.
You would have thought so, but hey, it's the world we live in, right? So Colin, all the best with Deep Green, mate. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for your time today.
Great, thanks so much. Really appreciate it.
No worries. And just before we go, if people want to get in touch with you, what's the best way to reach out to you?
Yeah, you can reach us at contact@deepgreen.ai.
Deepgreen.ai. Okay, remember that. We'll tag that in the comments as well.
Awesome.
Thanks very much, Colin. Appreciate your time, mate.
Thanks, Lee.
Ciao.